Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another video from TW White & Sons Mazda. We've taken this in part exchange this morning. Oh no, I do apologise. Late yesterday evening. I've just had it cleaned this morning. This is a 2019, registered 16th of March 2019 Mazda CX-5 SE-L Nav Plus in machine grey. Now this was like the latest incarnation of the CX5 before it got the sort of newer key and the slightly larger sat nav screen. This has got the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, amongst many other things, because this was kind of on the cusp of a facelift. But I'll go through that in more detail. Now we're giving it a quick clean. Bit of background on the car: we didn't supply it new. This was supplied new at Croydon Mazda, who are part of the Driftbridge Group. The gentleman who owned the vehicle lives in Brixton. We were in Orpington. I think he probably used us for servicing, and we got chatting to him, and he picked up his new car last night. Now this was only serviced, what are we now on today? Thursday. This was only serviced, I think, on Monday. Okay, so it's been freshly serviced. We put a new set of brake pads in the car as well. And it just so happened that his new car turned up. Oh, hold on, not Monday, Tuesday. We were back on Tuesday. So his new car turned up on Tuesday. He was in for a service on Tuesday. So we set up last night for the collection of the new car. So we serviced it Tuesday and we put a new set of brake pads in it. But it's a lovely, lovely car. It's on about 16,300 miles. It's in lovely condition. My valeter will spend a little bit more time on it and get it all up together. But it's very, very good. There are no curbed wheels or anything like that. I think there might be an odd stone chip if you look hard enough, like you would on any car of this age and mileage. But it is very, very nice indeed. Now, I'm going to start at the back of the vehicle and then we'll work our way through. Now, the SE-L is quite a rare model. Most of these sold new were the sport model, which had the leather seats. That was the main difference, and then you had an auto tail lift and bits and pieces. The SE-L has the cloth seats. Now, I personally prefer cloth seats because I think they're more supportive, a bit more comfortable, really. And also, if you have the SE-L, you get a slightly smaller alloy wheel and more rubber on your more rubber on the tyre, so you do actually get a slightly better ride, a more refined ride. So the SE-L, you know, there's plus points, you know, and negative points if you didn't like, if you wanted leather seats and an auto tail lift, and what else would you have had? A sunroof and a Bose stereo, a few other little bits. But these are very, very well equipped, and you'll see as I run through the car. Now, this boot area is huge. You do have space for a spare wheel under here, should you require one. Yeah, and also space for this tonneau cover to fold away, so it's nice and neat, so it doesn't get lost. Because I know a lot of parcel shelves and whatnot, they come out of cars, they never actually go back in. But this will be stored under here. You've got these kind of ejector seat handles here, and then you get that enormous boot area, and it's almost flat. Let me show you. If you put a little bit of weight on these back seats, yeah, I mean, it's probably 178 degrees. Okay, and they just pop back up like so. All right, so easy peasy. For those of you with young children, the car has Isofix Anchorages. As you can see, this car's Isofix Anchorages have been utilised. You can see where they've gone in here and here. So the two outer seats at the back will have Isofix Anchorages. And I just want to draw your attention to the opening of the rear door. When Mazda brought out this newer shaped CX-5, they paid particular attention to the opening of the rear door, which would be, my son's sort of 3 years old in March. I would never have appreciated this previously, but having a young child that I have to put in and out of a child seat, that opening of that door and the height of this car is so much better than a lower car with a small opening. So that's really good. And also on the flip side, my parents who are in their 70s would be delighted to get in a car, in and out of a car with that opening and that sort of height. So accessibility for these cars is superb, really is. Look at that. I mean, and I keep mentioning degrees. That's almost 90 degrees. Okay, so here's your boot area covered. Let's just show you the condition of the seats. All really lovely. No evidence of pets. I know a lot of SUV family cars often have pets in them and stuff, but no. And it was a non-smoker's car, but it's all in fine fettle. It really is. Yeah, all the wheels are all in great condition, and obviously it's had a vehicle health check in the last couple of days. But we will, because this car was registered in March, it's due an MOT in March, 16th of March. That's its first MOT. We shall do that prior to the next owner taking delivery of this vehicle. Take note, you've got privacy glass at the back, so that's really good for kids and for privacy, or just for passengers in general, against UV rays when you're in traffic and whatnot. You've got your electric windows, auto folding wing mirrors, parking sensors, lane departure warning. I'll come to that in a minute. You've got an intelligent engine stop-start system, so when you're stationary, the car will switch itself, the engine will switch itself off, ultimately to be more friendly to the environment, but it will save you money as well. And you've got traction control there, which is a system that helps prevent you or reduce wheel spin, skidding, when you're sort of heavy braking, keeping you in a straight line. Right, so I've got, where's the keys for this car? We've got 2 keys of the car. Okay, and what have I done with them? So you've got 2 keys. Okay, when you put your foot on the clutch, this red light will indicate that the car has detected your key. Press the button and it will fire into life. Let's have a look here. So there's the mileage there, 16,390 miles. It's 1 degree today. That was at 0 a little while ago. You've got your analog speedometer, analog rev counter, okay, automatic lights, automatic wipers. You've got your cruise control. Now, remember I mentioned that this was sort of the last incarnation before the cars came with a bigger screen, which was towards the end of last year, I believe it was, sort of September-ish last year. So this was a Plus model. So the Plus model, not to be confused with the non-Plus model, didn't have adaptive cruise control. So this has got adaptive cruise control. It will track the car in front. Should the car in front slow down, say you're sat at 70, the car in front slows down to 65, the car will detect that, yeah. And there's a little bit of flexibility as to how close you want to get to the car in front. It does leave you plenty of space. It's very, very sensible. But that's adaptive cruise control, which is, I would say, far more useful on the UK roads, because cruise control, I mean, really, our roads are a little bit congested for that. So this adaptive cruise control will slow down, speed you up, so much more useful, and it will save you fuel and also keep you in the speed limit. Should you set it to the speed limit, of course. So that's cruise control. You've also got a speed limiter. You've got your volume controls here, info. It's like your trip computer. All right, it gives you MPG and things like that. You should get, as a combined cycle, and if you drove, I would say in a nice way, not an aggressive manner, you should get sort of 40-ish to the gallon, which I think is very good for a car of this size. And this is a 4-cylinder 2-litre engine. So I know a lot of manufacturers, we've had hundreds of them come through here, Nissan Qashqais, Cougars and stuff. We've sold them nice cars, but they often have small engines with turbos, which gets you not even the fuel consumption I've just mentioned, and you know, it's sort of 3-cylinder. It's not quite as nice of a drive, because Mazda have kind of defied convention, made bigger engines, but made them more fuel efficient. Okay, steering wheel's in really great condition. You're up, down, in and out on the steering column. You have a CD player. You have climate control. You have a 6-speed gearbox. You have a multimedia commander. I call it the human interface. You've got the electric handbrake. So if people were to ask me how to describe this handbrake here, I'd say, well, it's like a finger brake. Okay, but you have hill hold assist. So you put it in gear, you got your foot on the foot brake. It will give you a little bit of time just to find that biting point, so you don't roll back, and it becomes second nature to you. Now, this multimedia commander will operate this here. Now, this is touchscreen, but I've never really used it as a touchscreen because I don't want to get the screen dirty. Not that I have dirty hands, of course, but you can get sort of finger marks. I would use this because this when you're moving, this is disengaged as a touchscreen for obvious reasons, but you can operate it here. Not that I'm promoting you do that, of course. Now, let's start down this end. Applications. Now, remember I mentioned sort of the last incarnation. So some of these Plus models had Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Some didn't. This does. So it was the last of them. Okay. Vehicle status monitor, don't be alarmed. It's just telling us that it's could be icy. Because when it hits 4 degrees, you get a little bleep and you'll get that warning will come up, which is, I think, sensible because you can't always see ice. You can set maintenance, tyre rotation, oil change settings, but Mazda do send you a reminder for servicing. But I say this car was serviced on Tuesday. Okay. So that's your apps. Now, for those of you that don't know, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, that will allow you to mirror a lot of your apps and control them through this system. So for example, Google Maps, Waze, Spotify, WhatsApp, etc. Car does have its own built-in sat-nav, but if you choose to use a different one, it's very easy to do so. You've got DAB radio, so you've got a few sources of sound. You've got FM, AM, DAB, AHA Stitcher internet channels, Bluetooth, so once your phone is paired up you can stream any music, and you've got USB 1 and 2 which live, I forgot for a second, in here. Okay, so you've got 2 USBs there for charging and for reading data, and then, oh, my validator hasn't cleaned in here, so do excuse me. You've got 2 more USBs in the back there. They are for charging only, so you've got 4 USBs in the car. 2 for all will charge, but only 2 will read data, the ones at the front. Okay. Communication, so once paired up you'll get your call lists, etc. Navigation, it's a very good navigation system, dead easy to use. Just put your postcode in and off you go. All right. When you're traveling along and you want to find a place of interest, now I'm often looking for fuel stations, parking. Parking's getting more difficult these days. I don't know, if you fancy something to eat or somewhere to go and have something to drink, you could set that and look for one round here. But I think on a more practical side, it's normally fuel stations I'm looking for. Oh, hold on, what have I done here? Fuel station around here, there we go. So it'll give you your fuel station, the direction, yeah, with these little arrows, and the distance, which is good, useful, especially for people who have fuel cards. You might have to go to a specific garage. And also, if you set up a Wi-Fi hotspot on your phone, it uses a minuscule amount of data. You'll also get fuel prices, you'll get live traffic updates, etc, etc. Okay, and settings in here, you've got display settings, so you can turn this off, change the brightness. Safety settings, okay, so the car's got distance recognition support, so it'll, remember what I said about the radar cruise control? You've got smart brake support, smart city brake support, so there are a few cameras up here, I believe. If you get too close to a car or a person in front, yeah, it'll the car will actually brake. Okay, now this isn't intrusive, it really isn't, and it could save you, because a lot of accidents happen at very low speeds when people get distracted looking out the window. You know, stop start traffic, you often see it on hot summer days at slip roads and things where people are queuing on. It will apply the brakes. Okay, so smart city brake support happens like under 20 miles an hour, and when you're doing more than that, you've got brake support, smart brake support, and it will put the brakes on. I got too close to a traffic island once in one of these, and it saved me from hitting that. So really good feature, and the great thing is it should save you money, because it should reflect in your insurance premium. So a bit of a bargaining tool there when you get your insurance through. Blind spot monitoring. There are, if you look at my finger, about there on both sides of the wing mirrors, there's a little light that will light up if someone undertakes you or overtakes you, and it will bleep. These were things that were option on the earlier cars, standard on these. They're really well spec, these vehicles. Lane keep assist. The car will help keep you within the white line, so within your lane on the motorway or dual carriageway. If you actually hold the steering wheel lightly, you'll actually feel the steering wheel moving, keeping you within those lines. And you've got your parking sensors here. So lane keep assist, and it's also got lane departure warning. If you were to veer out of a lane without indicating, it'll warn you by a bleep or a rumble or both. Okay, so very safety conscious car. Sound system's amazing. Even though this isn't the Bose system, it still sounds amazing. Clock's GPS synced, so it's always accurately set. You got rain sensing wipers. You got some nice settings here. Look, you've got adaptive front lights. I forgot to mention that LED, they're adapted, they're amazing, and you'll see more at night than you will in the day. Well, I certainly would. And as you turn the steering wheel, the lights will turn with the wheels, so really good for those country lanes. You coming home lights, so look, when you lock the car, the lights will stand for 30 seconds until you get safe passage into your home or wherever you're going, but you can change that. Okay, so lots of lovely features, and some very important features. Now, being the facelifted car, they are a little bit more refined as well. So please, don't confuse this with the earlier cars. Nothing wrong with them, of course, but it is nice to have these features. Now, I did mention the MOT. The car has been just recently serviced, only literally a few days ago. It will be validated. It will come with a 12-month Mazda ZZ Plus warranty. Part exchange is extremely welcome, regardless of what you have. Even though we're a Mazda dealer, if you look on our website, you'll see lots of other cars other than Mazda. So you will get the best price with a part exchange. I know there's a lot of, you hear a lot of, sell your car privately and get a better deal and all that sort of thing. We want you to have a nice, seamless, enjoyable experience purchasing your vehicle, with a one-stop shop. So give us a shout, let us know what you've got. Obviously, do your homework. It's very easy to get a valuation on your car these days. As a certain gentleman on the TV says, it only takes 30 seconds. And give us a shout and let's see what we can do. And we're not one of these people. It's not in our business model to turn up and then knock you down and all that sort of stuff. Let's just have a conversation and we'll go from there. So parts exchange we've covered. We've got great finance facilities. Do try us at any time of day as well, any day of the week. And if it's out of business hours, leave a message. We will call you back or drop us an email and we'll come back to you as soon as possible. We can offer a delivery service as well. It's free within 100-mile radius, but if you're out of area, please just talk to me. Okay, so I want to thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been useful, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Bye bye.